Okay, let's see some other simple examples. In this example, we have a class date. And in this class, we have three variables: private, int month, private, int day, private, int year. This class has one constructor, date, it receives three inputs, three parameters, and then assign value to these variables. So year will be the year, month will call the method checkMonth. So in this method, we are going to check whether the value that has been inserted to the month is valid or not. And then we have day, check day, the day. Right. Private int, check month, b int test. It will receive one parameter and will check the value of this parameter if it's greater than 0 and less than equal 12, sorry, then it's valid, right? So it's going to return test month. Else, it's going to print invalid month, set to 1. Test month. return 1. We are going to have another method for check day int test day and here we are going to check whether the day is valid or not. So int days per month, that's an array, right? So the first month has 31 days, 28 days, 31, 30, 31, 31, 30, and then here I'm going to check if test day is greater than 0 and test day is less than equal to days per month, then return test day. If for checking whether the year is a leap year or not, month is equal to 2 and test day is equal to 29 and or return test day. System.out dot printf invalid day set to 1. Test day, right? And then return 1. And we have another method, public string to string. And here we are going to return a string of the form month, day, and year. So return a string dot format month, day, and year. Right? So that's the class that we have. So we have 3 variables, 1 constructor, and 3 methods, as you see. So we also have another class. The name of this class is employee, as you see. This class has 4 variables, private, string, first name, private, string, last name, private, date, birth date, and private date, hire date. Then we have one constructor, public employee. It receives the value of these variables and will initialize them. So string first, string last, date, date of birth, date, date of hire, right? And then what it's going to do is initialize first name to be first, last name to be last, and birth date to be date of birth, hire date to be date of hire, right? And one method that converts employee to string format. So public string to string. So return string dot format hired birthday And then here, last name, first name, and hire date and birth date. Right? So that's another method that's another class that we have here with four variables, one constructor, and one method. Okay, so let's see how we can create some objects of the classes that we created in the main method. So here we have date birth, B, new date, for example, 7/24 and 1949. Date higher to be new date 3/12 and 1988. And employee, B, employee, create one object for employee, new employee, Bob, blue, and birth and hire. And finally, we are going to print employee. So system dot out dot println employee. Right. So if we run the code, we see the last name, the name, the date of the hiring of this person, this employee, and the date of the birth of this person, birthday of this person, right? Okay, let's see one other example. In this example, there are some classes. The first one is my line, and in this class, I want to define one line with several coordinates, right? X coordinate, Y coordinate for the first point, and X coordinate, Y coordinate for the second point. The line also will have a color, right? So these are the variables for this class: private, int, x1 private int y1 private int x2 private int y2 private color my color. So here I need to import java.awt.color and dot graphics. Public my line int x1 int y1 int x2 and int y2 and int and color right. This dot x1 be x1 this dot y1 be y1 this dot x2 be x2 this dot y2 be y2 and my color be color. Right. And another method, this is the constructor, right? Method public void draw graphics g dot set color be my color g dot draw line be x1 y1 x2 y2. Then we have draw panel class. This class use the class myLine in order to draw random lines. So again, we will import some packages Java dot color import Java. So draw panel extends JPanel. We will talk about extends. I think we talked about extends. If not, we will later. We will talk about it more later. We have some variables. We here are going to create one object from my line, so private, my line, b lines, private random numbers new random. Then we have constructor, so public, this one for drawing a random line, right? Public draw panel, so set background color dot white, and line speed, new my line, 5 plus random numbers dot next int 5. Right? And then For each line, so for int count equals 0, count lines dot length and count plus plus int x1b random numbers dot next int y1b random numbers dot int x2b random numbers dot and x y2b random numbers dot so that's a random number in the range of 300, right? Then we are going to generate random color. So color equals new color random numbers that's next int random numbers dot next int random numbers dot next int. So that's a random number in the range of 0 to 256. Then we are going to add this line to the list of lines to be displayed. So lines count be new line and color. Then for each shape array, we are going to draw the individual shapes. So public void paint component graphic G. and then draw the line. So for my line dot draw G. Right, so that's another class that we have. And finally, we are going to have the main class. So we create one object, draw panel. Here we need to import Java X dot string dot jframe. So don't worry if you don't know some of these. These are some parts of the this class that you are going to learn in the future lectures in the next sessions. New JFrame. So application dot set default panel application dot set size application dot set visible. Right. Okay, so now let's run the code and see the result. So by running the code, you will see this as a result. So you see several lines with different colors here and different, as you see, x and y coordinates, right?